have a look, shall we?
Oh no, it says we're live now, man. It wasn't even start. It was scheduled, but I had to press go live. So here we are. All that bullshit we just said. Say
Here
again.
we are. Everyone, we finally made it. Again,
Crappy Halloween, fuckers.
crappy Halloween. And as I was just saying, I think people should take a more morose approach to their Halloween greetings. We got Happy Christmas, we got Happy Easter. You know, let's make it a horrible Halloween because it's fun to tell people to have a horrible day once every year at least, and have it be fun and fine. So yeah, Poproast podcast, diversifying, impromptu. Seeing us on Instagram, seeing us on YouTube, and now you're getting us live on Facebook. So
because that's the only thing we could
diversifying
get
that
onto.
portfolio. That's the only thing we could wrangle at the last minute. We had not one, not two, but three different, completely unrelated things go wrong for us this evening.
Yeah.
So it's almost like that kind of shit is supposed to happen at this time of year, but I don't know. I'm trying not to be superstitious about it.
No, I'm sure it had nothing to do with old Sam Hain. But yeah,
Absolutely not.
Well, might as well let the cat out of the bag that neither of us are competent enough to, or had the foresight enough to find out how the YouTube live stream works.
We didn't realise there was going to be a whole verification period and a procedure, you know, because we've been just throwing stuff on there. Nobody's checking to see what we're doing on there. We could be doing anything at this point, and you know, only like 3 of you would know and would have probably reported us if you knew what was good for you. But yeah, so there was a whole thing with that. Then all of a sudden, George's Netflix is just like, no, fuck you. We're putting you on probation for some reason. Maybe we think you're sharing your password, and we are fucking gonna target you. We're gonna make you an example, even though you didn't do nothing, and we're gonna fuck your shit up just to make a point to all those other sharing freeloaders out there. And
That's
then what
right.
was the third thing that went wrong? I don't even know now. Feels like a year ago already. Oh, and then we had no sound. That was great.
No, that was it.
We had no audio on our fucking shindagios. So that was fun. And then, but while we were sorting out all of that other stuff, we're just like, we can make something work. We don't want to disappoint anyone on our promise of Halloween live on the Poproast podcast. So we are here. I'm supposed to be finding that stream, aren't I? Where is that going on? There we go. Yeah. So we're going to be watching Halloween pretty soon because it is in fact Halloween. Have a horrible one, everybody. Make it catch on. So you know, feel free to click a like, click a share, and absolutely, I can see we've got 2 people watching here. So 2 people share, and then if you get 2 people each, that makes it like 6, 8, whatever. And you know, we can multiply exponentially, you know, but we don't have to. We're not here for the likes. We're not here for the validation. If we was, we would be pretending to be other people and doing a different show.
Indeed.
So what is it? So it's 6 minutes past. Should we give it to 10 past, George, and then we'll fire up?
Yeah, sure.
Can we drag this out for another 3.5 minutes?
I'm sure we can. To the one viewer.
Anyone else pop in? Oh no, we've gone down from 2 to 1. Maybe we should have started earlier. But who knows? Maybe their phone died. I don't know. Maybe
you want me to share? Are you having a laugh? No, I don't know.
Yeah, so we pushed them too far. We took advantage of the good nature of our 2-member audience, and we slashed it in half because it's fucking Halloween, and that's what we want to do.
So right, so I'm just gonna guess that it might be Mark watching. If it's Mark, then hi Mark.
It might be.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
whoever it
hopefully.
is.
I can't see.
Don't know how to communicate with you.
Maybe
don't
it's
know
for the
what
best
we're doing.
that we don't know who it is, so then we can't like send hate mail to the people that it isn't. You know what I mean? Like, where were you when we needed you the most?
They were like, I was
You
on
know?
YouTube, fucker, an hour ago when you were supposed to be
All
here.
right, fair enough. Yeah, all right, that's fair.
That
You know,
person's left, by the way.
absolutely. No, I still got the one. I still
Oh,
got
it
the
says
one.
0 on mine.
Well, we'll just split the difference. We have half a person watching. Maybe one of the victims from our upcoming feature here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Possibly.
remember specifically really any of the kills. I haven't seen this for a while.
You don't?
I'm looking forward to. I don't watch this every year. I'm not one of those guys or one of those people.
Not every year, but I
Do
I
you have
tend to.
certain things that you do watch every year?
I cycle things in and out sometimes. Actually, Halloween 3 is the one that I tend to go for. Season of the Witch. That'll be.
Yeah, because that's fun, right? Because
It's a
that's
fun.
just like a self-contained story, and it's like a nice
Yeah.
little anthology, kind of like almost like a, like a Twilight Zone kind of Tales from the Crypt kind of situation.
Is it?
And
Well.
you can just enjoy that without feeling obligated to be like, oh, well, now I've got to watch part 2
Oh
because
right.
it's
Yeah. I
like
guess.
the same
See what you're saying
thing.
there.
And it's just like I can just, if I want to get like my Halloween franchise fix on Halloween, I can just watch the one, and then I've maybe got more time to, I can watch like something else as well.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting there and like, oh, well, I watched Halloween 2, well, I guess I should watch Halloween 4 and 5 because they tie right in. And now I'm a 90-year-old man and I don't even know how many versions of this there have been anymore.
Can you imagine?
We'll touch on some of the other versions as we're watching this for sure, because
Definitely.
one of us, me, rewatched the 2007 zombie version
Yeah.
for shits and gigs in prep for this. So yeah, that's good stuff. And we are 1 minute. We're all queued up on 0, 0, 0, 0 because that's what we are around here, just big fucking zeros. And we are ready to press play within the next minute, and we're just going to start. And people are probably just going to pop in and out anyway, and we're just going to try and have a fun time or a horrible time, I guess. I've already, yeah, falling into old habits there. Here we go. Shall we get this started?
Yeah, how we doing? 3, 2, 1, play.
Yeah, and then 3, 2, 1, and then on the play, not on the one, on the play, because don't want any confusion, because that'd be funny, and funny's not what we're going for. So yeah, you ready?
Yeah, do you want? You keep counting it.
I'll do a countdown. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. There we go. We are getting the Lionsgate zooming through the clouds in the cosmos. I'm assuming you're right with me there.
Yep.
Cool, cool, cool. Lionsgate are a good studio. Like, they've kind of not quietly, but they've kind of consistently just coasted along, it seems, through like the 2000s.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing them much before then, but they had like, did they have the early Shaw movies and all of that kind of like 2000 schlock stuff.
Yeah, funny you mentioned. Oh, there he is, Donny P. R.I.P.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago, right?
I think it was a while back.
Was it a while ago?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure because it might have even been the 90s.
Oh wow! Oh damn!
Because
I
I
was
know
thinking
they
of somebody
went to put
else
him in
who
more
lasted
films, but
longer.
he passed. But yeah.
Do you think that's kind of why that character's become like? He's kind of become like the cult hero of this franchise, hasn't he? Like I'd say almost as much as Mike Myers himself. People, the Halloween fans always seem to have a lot of like love for Loomis. It seems.
Yeah, he died in 95, mate.
95. Oh, sorry, Loomis. I missed the I must have missed that invite for the memorial service.
Yeah.
I was out of town that day. But yeah, would you agree that like Loomis is kind of like he's kind of highly regarded. He's kind of almost become just as much the face of this
I
as
would, yeah.
the main man. Yeah.
Donald Pleasance in general, like I just
Mm.
find him. He was a true thespian, you know, like
Yeah, well, a
he
lot of
loved
those
it.
people were like, kind of in these like 70s, 80s horror movies, kind of come from those backgrounds.
Yeah,
Same as
theatre
like the Hammer
actors.
horror generation as well. You kind of had, they were all old school like theatre guys and everything else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
So,
Donnie might have been in some of those. He was in a bunch of westerns and all sorts of things.
oh, absolutely.
But
Dude was popping up all over the place. Classic character actor.
here we are, Halloween night, 1963.
Halloween
That's
night.
where it all began.
Shout out for the score, by the way, written by Carpenter, which how you don't really hear that often of like a director. It's like, you
Mm.
know what, I'm gonna fucking back away, John Williams, fuck off, Elfman. Like I'm doing the score. Like
Yeah,
it's my
well,
movie. I'll do the score.
I'm not sure if it was actually out of necessity. I've got a little interview I'll play after this for our little
Oh, he
break.
he just couldn't afford to pay anyone else to
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he
do it.
said
He's
like
like, I'll cut the
three
budget
to
and I'll
four
do it.
days. Yeah, I think he had literally like 3 or 4 days to put it together. And
Yeah,
he says about his dad showing him how to do like 5/4 time signatures, and it's like that's pretty much what that is. And he just banged together. But
yeah.
that's a lot of his score work is very simplistic, but it's
Oh, it's
effective as
effective,
hell.
and it's the same philosophy that you kind of see in the movie itself as well. I think, you
Yeah,
know, it's a
I love
very
this little
like,
sting here as that light goes off.
yeah,
Sort of,
you can easily see a young Raimi like watching this stuff here, and it's like, oh, I like that.
yeah.
I like just a little bit of like everyday like scenery or like a house, and then you kind of just like voyeuristically snooping through it with a camera, like that's fun.
Hmm. Yeah, very much so voyeuristic,
And
like
we are straight
the
in. We don't even
POV.
know who lives in this house.
No,
Like
that is
we
one
don't.
thing I always wondered because you see them through the window, like you got the couple,
Hmm.
and then they're making out, and then they run upstairs, and then next thing you know, it's just
It's
his
kicking off
sister in the nip.
in the nip. But yeah, like
Like
we
she
don't
just had
really
a
get.
shower, like they just did the quickest bonk ever,
Yeah.
and then she went to clean up.
But normally for a lot of these kind of movies,
Oh no,
like
I'm wrong. Sorry. The boyfriend leaves. Of course he does.
yeah. But normally for a lot of these movies, you kind of get a bit more like context of like who's in the the scenario, like what their kind of dynamics are, and you kind of build them up a little bit, even though we know they're gonna die. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um,
I guess you are. I mean, my mind's in the gutter there. I guess I just left to speculate if he just
oh, he was
did
just
did
like
the two
they just get
pumps and then was like, oh, I
yeah,
gotta go. It's late.
shit straight to the fucking straight to the boobay. You know,
Uh,
wouldn't be Halloween without me. Appeasing my Halloweener. Like let's get it on. But yeah, we're straight in
Halloween.
here, and you know, there you go, everybody. You know, I can almost smell my mum's fingers over my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, but
Can you remember when you first saw this?
um, probably later than you, probably. Um, yeah, I was probably in my late teens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was probably like 16 by the time I got round to like I was 15, 16 by the time I was like actively like seeking out like kind of like famous movies and whatnot.
No. To be fair, I was not. No, I would probably. I went in a weird order. I watched like Halloween H2O. I'm pretty sure it was the first one I remember watching.
Because
Like
I always
clearly.
imagine you were just born with like a John Carpenter Criterion Collection box set in your hand.
No. Michael? And there he is.
And then we get the reveal that it's
kid.
like the kid that because again, you know, we didn't know. We're just seeing like somebody's in this house and he ain't happy with what's going on. And when we see him standing there, like it's like, oh, the kid done it. Not only are we like horrified that it's a kid done it, but now we understand almost why, because he's seeing that kind of stuff, and it's like, well, we can kind of get halfway to like, you know, empathizing with like, well, yeah, you see stuff like that as a kid, like your things going into other things. You don't know what the fuck's going on. That's going to freak you out, and you know, sometimes this is what's going to happen. You know, stay safe, everybody out there. You know, don't.
That's it.
Make sure there's no little lunatics running around before you get your own little lunatics out. You know.
That's right. And we jump forward.
We
So
jump
what?
forward.
14 years and 63 to
Yeah.
78.
And there he is. So in the Rob Zombie version, that's a little bit long in the tooth, because we're with young Michael for like a good like 20 minutes, half an hour at least.
Yeah, well, that was his approach. Was, you know, well, no point. It's strange actually, because there's a lot of, you know, back and forth about. He started out saying he wanted to do something, you know, obviously John Carpenter had already done the story and he wanted to try a different approach, so he brought up this backstory.
Yeah, he Batman Begins it.
Yeah, but then like when you get
Begins for Halloween is what that movie is.
I guess in a way, but like once it gets past that, when he's older and he breaks out the mental institution, it is almost like a beat for beat remake.
Yeah, it definitely like hits it like on like double speed almost when it gets there.
Yeah.
But also they can't decide like in that one, like, because they go in and out of like, oh, we're gonna make him like he's this relatable normal kid who just has these like psychotic flashes, but also we're just gonna make him like a mindless killing machine like he is in this one. And it's like they don't really settle down on which version of it they wanted to do. And in this one, like we just see him, like we don't see none of what this kid is like in his life before that. The only thing we've seen him do is take a mask off after killing some people.
Yeah, and
so
that's
they
part
really go like soulless, heartless in this, and it's weird that Rob Zombie was the guy who thought he could try and bring some fucking emotionality to the situation. You would have thought it'd be the other way around. You know what I mean?
Well, I know it is. It's well documented. Rob Zombie said in interviews that he had nothing but trouble with the studio. The Weinstein was like basically fucking gaslighting him. 1 minute he's like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen," and then they were like, "You know, we want some edits. We want more of this, more of that." And then he said he did like barely anything editing wise, and then they turns around and says, "Oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen. This is going to be a hit."
I've heard that kind of thing from so many directors who have said they've had notes from a studio to change a whole bunch of stuff. They went back and they didn't change it and they resubmitted the same edit, and it's like the guy was just like, yeah, that's great, that's what I asked for. It's like they don't know what they're fucking doing. But here we go, Score's back in. We're going back into into the institution. This is not where she wants to be right now at all. Like she's getting the fucking she got the Disneyland fast pass. You know what I mean? Like you ain't got to go past security. You just get dragged right in there.
That's right.
Fucking loving it, mate.
It's just saying that they'd been given a Thorazine, which you know, make him barely able to stand up. And this is one of the gripes that everyone has. How did Michael learn to drive?
Yeah, I mean, how old is he when he does the murder? Is he like 5 or 6?
He says 6 years old.
6 years old. So,
or he said when he first met him.
Would you remember like?
It said 14 years later, so he would be 20 years old.
Okay, so you're watching your parents drive at 6. Are you retaining that? Maybe some kids would.
I definitely didn't.
We don't know what kind of kid. We don't know what kind of kid he was. If he was like this weird, like mute kid who just like was very just like observant and just didn't interact with anyone and just, kind of compulsively observed everything going on, then maybe that is his personality type, and maybe that would have been the kind of stuff that he would have remembered and thought about for 16 years in solitary confinement, of just like having just living life through those memories and whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah. We
But here
see.
we go, Laurie Strode.
Yep. Jamie Lee.
Again,
Jamie
we
Lee
don't see
Curtis.
her for like a good like hour of the other movie,
No, and
and it's a very
well,
different
so,
characterization as well.
yeah.
In fact, they don't even know what characterization they were trying to do with the zombie version.
No, just broken home, kind of white trash
Well,
family in a
yeah,
way.
but also half the time in that movie, she's like this kind of like almost precocious, like, awkward, nerdy, like goody two shoes kind of kid. And then the other half of the movie, she's like this wisecracking, like vulgar, you know, dick and balls jokes, like
Yeah,
feisty character. And it's like, I think they kind of just wanted to have their cake and eat it.
yeah,
But obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis is about as real as it gets,
yeah.
and she's
Daughter
just
of course,
of
Janet
what's her
Lee,
name from Psycho, right?
Psycho. Yeah,
There we go.
um,
Like the original slasher movie.
yeah.
It pretty much goes like Psycho, Black Christmas, and then this, right? Like that's kind of like the three pillars. Okay, and
I would
Texas,
say,
I would
yeah.
say, are like the four pillars of the slasher genre for sure.
I've heard some people say that there's some things that were John Carpenter clips from When a Stranger Calls, I think it is.
Oh, okay, yeah,
But
because yeah,
I've
sure.
never
I'm
actually
sure
seen
there's
that.
some earlier like there's definitely going to be some earlier ones that were like ahead of some of those, but I just think those ones are like the bedrocks of the genre, really.
Yeah, but funny. I don't know what for whatever reason looked up Thorazine and it's been discontinued now in the US. So
Was discontinued?
Thorazine, which
Oh, mate. Well,
says
I'm glad because they're probably like, you know, well, you would hope that they're like continuously doing research, ethical research, hopefully as well, with all these like drugs that have been just like used, in medicine for years, and sometimes stuff just gets used a lot more and longer than it should have. So I'm
yeah,
glad I'm glad they had another look at that one. Well, it didn't work for Michael Myers, so maybe we're just going to cancel that one.
yeah,
They're like, maybe this movie drove the fucking stocks down on the pharmaceutical market. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe they're just like, we can't. Nobody wants to back us anymore. They all saw Halloween, and it's like, well, didn't do shit there.
yeah. I mean,
So
it only
we're
took
gonna
what
we're gonna go over here to
45
like
years.
Berezine. Yeah, we're gonna go to this other company that do Berezine because they've fucking undercut you. They're gonna deliver twice the numbness at half the price, and they're
Yeah,
gonna fucking get you covered. But who knows?
yeah. We missed
Here
a
we
little
go.
bit of time there. Donald Pleasant, yeah. Loomis is just saying, no one took enough precautions. I told you all, nobody listened, and nobody does pretty much all the way through the film.
No,
You're like,
not
all
at
right,
all.
mate.
It's weird, right? Because it's on one hand it's like refreshing, but on the other hand, it's more frustrating because normally when you get that kind of situation, it's with a kid. Like the adults never believe the kid about a
Mm.
situation that's going on, especially in like these like 50s and 60s like sci-fi movies and stuff like that. And then when you've got an adult running around like who's an educated medical professional,
Yeah,
and even him, like they're just like, nah, fuck off, loser, like. And he's like, listen,
looms.
like, I work with this dude, Loomser, you fucking loomsy, loomsy, loomser. And like, and even he's getting like just fucking brushed off. So yeah, I think that's also that's kind of realistic, but it does make it much more infuriating. It's like, come on, so much of this could have been avoided, but then that's like so many murder cases, right? And so many fucking,
Oh yeah.
deaths and all this kind of stuff. It's like if we kind of just paid a little bit more attention where we should have been paying more attention in society, then we could get the jump on all of this stuff. Like these three dickheads, yeah. Like,
Little bastards.
why were you just accepted that just like, oh, well, some kids are bullies, some kids are just horrible to other kids, and that was just how the world is. Like, what? And we just fucking rolled over. Adults just rolled over, and we're just like, yeah, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
guy,
Poor.
he's got your back. Don't worry about it, mate. This is a real wholesome dude. He fucking got you covered. He won't let anything bad happen to you.
No, no. Oh yeah. There's. You didn't watch all the David Gordon Green ones yet, did you?
No, I only saw the first one, and I did
No.
not like it really.
Well, I'll
And it
just tell
took a
you.
lot, and that one took a lot longer as well, to kind of really do anything. And it really kind of just crescendos in the last. There's like a 15-minute window,
Yeah.
like right near the
That's.
end, where anything happens,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like the rest of it is kind of like. I mean, it's not. But it kind of is their fault, but also not their fault. It's like, well, because we know where this is going, so it's kind of just like, well, let's just get there.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the case with a lot of remakes, obviously, that they kind of still got to go through the motions. Otherwise, why make the movie? But I would say probably shouldn't have made those. I mean, what did they really add to anything? They weren't massively profitable. They didn't add
Oh,
anything. At
are you
least
kidding
like the
me?
Rob Zombie ones try to add stuff.
Did you not see the 2018 Halloween is like one of the highest grossing horror films ever?
Oh yeah, that crushed, but the second two really kind of dropped hard. Um,
Yeah. Well,
and
actually, I'm gonna quick
I
look.
just think like more overall, was it really worth it? You
Uh,
know,
no. Well, I don't want to go too off on a tangent on that, but I was just going to point out the kid Tommy Doyle, he comes back in Halloween Kills, all grown up, of course.
yeah,
I just remember the actor who portrayed him. He was like a big '80s, you know, team. I'm pretty sure he was in like Fast Time at Ridgemont High and all that.
yeah.
What's that guy's name? That's actually my favorite part of the score. That I forget the name of the actual
Peace,
piece,
yeah,
but it's got like a really like looming descending like
yeah.
chord
It's almost got
change.
like that lo-fi kind of feel to it, where it's kind of like got that grainy,
I did
like
actually
slightly atonal.
yeah, I actually took it and put like a trap beat under it
Oh,
just for fun.
tasty. Oh,
But I was
tasty.
like,
That's
I can't
fucking.
put that on here. I don't want to,
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
you know,
That might
to,
get us. We don't want to encourage like a fourth thing to happen. That's probably for the best,
yeah.
for sure.
My guy's
People
gone
always
anyway.
say that based off the scene that we just had with Loomis. People always say like, oh, police officers, should have more like psychology and like therapy, kind of mindfulness kind of training and all those kind of stuff more than they need to have like, lawyer skills and physical engagement skills and stuff. But then we've got Loomis on the other hand, who's a fucking trained like therapist, psychologist guy, and he's also doing the police's work for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's fucking really going above and beyond here.
Yeah.
How old is
We
she
got,
supposed to be in this?
I guess it's 17, 18.
No, you're not 17. I mean,
No.
I don't know what 17, 18-year-olds look like in the 70s, and I don't know how old Jamie Lee Curtis actually is in this movie.
I'm just
I don't want
trying
to
to do
get
the quick
myself in
maths.
shit now if I say that she doesn't look like a 17-year-old, and then it turns
Yeah,
out that
she
she
would have
is.
been 20.
Yeah, there's definitely a, a weight to the way that she carries herself. No, I'm not saying that she's a bad actress. I'm saying she's a good actress, but you can, there's some things that you just can't, you just can't hide it. There's like
Mm.
a hauntedness to her that she's bringing to this kind of character that an actual 17-year-old wouldn't even know what that was like. But maybe by the time you've got to 20, living and working in Hollywood as a woman in the 70s and 60s, you probably got a bit of that hauntedness to probably draw from, unfortunately.
I imagine her mother would have, given her
Oh yeah, prepped her
some
up. She's
sort
like
of pep
fucking
talk. Yeah.
rubbed her shoulders and fucking gave her a bucket to spit in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
fucking get back in there, girl. You know, work's dried up for mummy. I need you to be the fucking breadwinner now.
Yeah.
Like, get back in there and fucking scream your ass off, as we'll hear later on.
Yes.
Well, not really, because we're not really
Well,
doing the volume thing because of the stream. Just we don't want to make things harder. That's fine.
I'm guessing I would. I wish we could communicate with. Oh no, they're gone anyway.
I've still got it. I've still got them on here.
Does it say there's still one? It says 0
I
on
still
mine.
got one. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, hang on. No, maybe they've gone now. Oh no, it still says one. Who shared
All
it?
right.
Let
Yeah,
me
it's just
check.
one now. Uh, I
Somebody's
wish I could.
watching. Can I? Um. No, it don't want to tell you. That's fair. I can see why. Whatever. It don't matter. Um. So this is supposed to be Illinois, right? Did they actually shoot this in Illinois? Do you know?
No,
Like,
it was in Pasadena, I believe. Um,
ah, that's
it
kind of
is.
weird. I mean, not that I know like massive amounts about American geography, but I
It's
know
in
that Pasadena
California.
is quite a nice suburban,
Yeah.
California area. So it's a little bit different to. But obviously they've scouted the locations well. Cause again, no, I don't know what fucking Illinois looks like either. But this doesn't feel like, you know, like a sunny California situation. This does have that more, bit more mutedness to it.
Yeah.
Very very natural kind of. I mean, lighting, like, and really, just. I want to say brown and beige, but I mean it like in like a good way. You know, 'cause brown and beige can be nice, in the right context with a bit of those lovely trees and those lawns and some blood that we'll get later on. It all makes for a lovely little
Oh, there we
pamphlet.
are. I wonder if that was like a big jump scare in the cinema as
I
well.
think so, yeah. I think that probably would have got me, to be honest, if I wasn't talking. Um,
Yeah.
and like we're talking about like studio notes and stuff. Obviously, there are like requirements. Like you've got to have this many like scares or like impactful moments, like you know regular intervals throughout a film. Like, and trying to like the fact that so many films have been good, with like actual like engaging narratives whilst building around those like kind of mandated, bullet points is quite miraculous, I think, when you think about it.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I
wonder
mean?
how, much or with any notes. I should have rewatched some of the featurettes, but I got a feeling like obviously for this, the whole slasher thing wasn't a thing yet, so
So
it
there
wasn't
wasn't
like
as much of like,
you say,
this is what this needs to be.
yeah, there wasn't
Yeah.
a formula or those requirements.
And I would imagine that probably following this, most of those notes and requirements were probably based off of this. Like is that a big part of like the handbook would have
Yeah.
been like, okay, so it's got to be like a female protagonist. That's kind of the trend that kind of built through, Psycho and Black Christmas and this, and very rarely do you get like a male slasher protagonist, which says all kinds of weird, fucked up things about society, really. When it's like, no, we prefer to see women in peril. That's what we just like that. I don't. It's not nothing weird. Nothing weird. I just like to see
No.
women scream. I like to
They're
see the
just
back of their
better
throats
at
and
it.
their
That's all.
tonsils shaking in the wind. I like to see them cry. I like to see women cry. When I'm not doing it in real life, I like to see it in movies because I'm
If,
just
any,
all about that 24/7.
if anyone
You know,
just
it's
came into the stream just to
oh
that
yeah, absolutely.
opportune
This is the wrong
time,
time to be bringing in
just
new
seeing you,
people, but
I like to
I,
see
I,
women cry.
I like to see women cry. But to be honest, I think that more the case is women like to see us cry. That's why we've only got one person in the fucking stream. Which also is just like I'm kind of resigned at this point to just think it's fine. We're just doing this. This is a fun thing to do. I'm having a good time. I think this is all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't pressure yourself into making me feel better. That's all right.
I have to say, I wanted to point out, just like I love that scene, the classic, him with the bed sheets.
And
If
it
that
looks
was
he's
real
gone.
time, like he would
I
literally
thought,
have to jump into that bush
oh, he's a
to
sprightly
get out of shot.
motherfucker for sure. I'm telling
I
you,
mean,
man, he's Batman, who also disappears at a fucking moment's notice.
he does indeed. Yeah, that's where they got it.
And if you were walking around today on Halloween night, you'd probably see a Batman and a Michael Myers. So, you
Maybe
know,
together.
maybe together. Maybe they disappear behind the same bush together. It's fine. It's 2023. Do what you want.
What are they doing
You
in that
know,
bush? Nobody
don't
knows.
matter.
You don't
Yeah,
judge.
there's some murdering going on, but in a good way. You know, Batman's probably got like smoke bomb anal beads or something. I don't know.
Where does he get those wonderful
Where did you
toys?
get those wonderful toys? There you go. Perfect. Oh, is that a joint? She's got a
She
joint.
lights up the tube.
I don't even know if I should say that
Those,
word on fate. I don't know. We probably should have looked that up as well. There's probably. I don't think anyone's checking this.
nah.
And if I found out that the one person watching this was a fucking Facebook spy bot, I tell you what, I'd be depressed. But that's fine.
That's it. Facebook account closed.
But
No,
there you
I
go.
don't even know. It's a whole thing to try and close your Facebook account.
Oh, come at me. No, don't come at us. We're just getting started, please. Just
Yeah.
let us ride it out. Let us have a horrible Halloween,
Yeah.
but a happy Halloween. Don't actually really make it horrible. You know how hard it
But
is these days to buy like two items of denim that are exactly the same fucking shade of denim?
yeah, tell me about. I mean, that's they call that the Canadian tuxedo, right?
Yeah, not that that's the look I'm going for or anything, but you guarantee you buy a fucking denim jacket and a pair of jeans, like you'd have to go to like a designer supplier to get that look now. He wasn't doing that. He just happened to buy two random pieces of denim clothing that were exactly the same fucking shade. And I think that's great.
That's the 70s.
That's the 70s. She's not liking that. Cool car though.
Harsh.
And it's harsh maybe, yeah. I tell you, man, I was out for my pre-show ritual, and there's kids everywhere, and like earlier on when I was going to the shop, there was eggs smashed on the floor everywhere, and I was just so paranoid, like walking back, just like I was just like an egg could come out at any given moment, and literally I've
Yeah.
got to get right back in here and do this. And I was like, I'll just go on the stream covered in egg. I don't give a fuck. Like, come at me. I'm ready. Like, I'm just gonna go. It's already been a shit show getting to this point. Like, I'll do the fucking stream covered in egg. I don't care. But they didn't. It was
Really,
fine, obviously.
literally and
No
figuratively.
egg on. Yeah,
Literally.
no egg on my face, literally or
Yeah.
figuratively.
There you go. Yeah, I think there wasn't many kids out around here to be fair.
I would
But
have
this
thought.
is the classic, right? If they were just bunning up in that car with the windows
Oh,
up, I would have thought it'd be
yeah, he would know. He would know. But maybe the size of those mutton chops says like he don't mind that much. You know,
hmm,
maybe he was a child of the '60s. Probably not. You know,
hmm.
there is no way. It's just he's just a stupid, ignorant, random character in a movie, and they just didn't write it that way because that would change the course of the movie, right? Because they go to jail, they're fine.
Oh yeah.
They're not getting out.
Or maybe
Like
not.
he's
Maybe I don't know. Maybe Michael
that's
could
it.
have got in there. Could
Could
have
he?
slaughtered the whole precinct.
That would have been a different movie completely.
I feel like that. Mm, no. No. Maybe in Halloween Kills he kills some cops. Goes to the cop shop.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
not
heard
sure.
that Halloween Kills has some real like
It has a lot of
they
kills
they has a lot of kills. Like they have a
for the
nice
sake of
chunk
kills.
of the movie of where it's like if you're just a slasher movie Michael Myers fan and you just want to see like a nice good hearty sequence of dismemberment, then that's what you get kind of thing. Um, which is fine, is valid, you know, if you want to see that. And that's all you want. But then in this day and age, if that's all you want to see, you can go and watch like just like short films and clips or fan stuff on like YouTube, you know, and where people have just like choreographed and filmed like some really cool like you know action sequences with like popular like IP characters and stuff. You know, like the Death Battles channel where it's like, oh, here's Batman fighting fucking the Predator or whatever. You know, like those kind
Mm.
of things. And if you can kind of get all that kind of stuff these days, just like I do kind of want more of that, like emotional, you know, or some of that other stuff that I'm not going to get from those things on a fucking internet video. I want that extra care and time put into, you know, having a bit of tension, having a bit of feeling, you know.
Yeah.
Bring it bring on the feels.
So yeah. Again, we had the little convoy that sort of shows you that Laurie's the less promiscuous type. She's not. She's not got a fella.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, we already know that because by the
yeah.
way the other girl was like handing her the joint, you know, like we, we've already got a good vibe of grasp of who she is at this point.
Yeah.
We've
Now
just
we.
got to extra throw it in there to be like, well, I'm not fucking either, you know.
Hmm. I don't know.
You
It's.
know,
I mean, I don't know exactly how. What? I would have guessed this is just a theatrical cut that we got on Netflix, but there's
yeah,
quite a jarring little like cut tonight.
yeah.
Straight to, but list.
I think it's probably done intentionally for effect because you see that in a lot of stuff. And we talked about it a little while ago regarding The Exorcist as well. You know, they would do that where they would cut from like a really quiet, like family dinner scene to all of a sudden just smash cut to like a really busy freeway in the middle of rush hour. And it's just like, whoa. And it's just overwhelming, you know, it's like, you know, the contrast of it. And, you know, I think it's a similar kind of thing we're seeing there to a lesser extent.
Yeah.
It's juxtaposition, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's the chaos of the world versus the chaos of the human soul and the torment that Michael Myers feels. You know, and he doesn't know what time it is. He probably doesn't care.
Yeah.
Again, if you're really just like this fucking you know, pure evil inherent like being of like just murder and chaos, would you really care that it was Halloween? You would just murder people straight away as soon as you could. Like he would have broken out the next day after he got fucking put in there. Do you know what I mean? If you really want to fucking think about it, like if he's just a pure being of evil and chaos, he would just bust it out every day as much as he could, just trying to kill everyone. He wouldn't just sit there and wait.
I don't know. Maybe as a kid, if they got him on the Thorazine nice and early, you know, he built
Nah,
up.
man, I heard
Tolerance.
they don't do the foraging anymore. It's fucking it's not
That's what I'm
FDA
saying. When he was a
approved.
kid.
Yeah.
um.
So you're saying then that if you're a person that's just a psychopath that wants to murder everyone, and foragine or the foragine, whatever it's called, the idea of of that is that it makes you from a complete psychopath just into somebody who only murders once a year. They're like
yeah.
we could spend an extra like 5 million and make a drug that just makes you not want to murder, but we're gonna cut the corner and we're gonna make a drug that turns your murderer into a person that just does it once a year, and that's the best we can do.
Yeah. That's as good as you're gonna get.
Sorry, that's the NHS for you there. They'd be like, nah, that'll be fine.
It's big pharma, mate.
We'd rather you murder a few more people and have to come back next year for another prescription than have to just fucking spend the extra time and care to just make sure that you're healthy and don't kill anyone anytime.
Here we
Really
are
nice.
at the famous rap about a 6-year-old child. I'm worried that this could be heard, but I don't think it really matters at this point.
I've got mine on like I turned the volume all the way down and I pushed up like twice.
All right, yeah,
Um,
yeah, it should be good. I can't really hear it.
I
Now.
think it's okay.
If you want to hear something interesting, a little bit trivia about the house, the Myers house.
What's going on with the Myers house? Did John Carpenter build it like he fucking built the score?
No, it was abandoned at the time of filming. It was later remodeled and moved a few blocks north from its original location. Um, and I'll add some more. You still there?
I'm still here. I'm
Went
about
to
to not
sleep.
be here for a second. I'm just gonna go take a quick um moment. This kid's wearing an astronaut suit,
He
so
knows
that's
his
fun.
costume.
I don't know what that means. Like, at what point did that become a Halloween costume? Like, you know, it'd be cool actually if you had this spacesuit with the helmet on, and then just made like you just got a load of like raw meat in a blender and just exploded it inside of the helmet and just put the helmet on, so you just look like your head's exploded
That's a pretty cool
in the
idea.
astronaut outfit because like you lost your compression or whatever.
Yeah, you just get some of that netting that covers your whole face. I mean, you might have
Yeah,
a bit of
yeah,
a
just
problem like
literally just
breathing, but
fucking
you know.
Yeah, so you're not like inhaling like raw liver all night, but like, you know, you heard it here, everyone. Let's get that fucking head busted astronaut costume. Let's get that patented. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you with that, George. Tell people like the socials, even though it's like all the same name. I don't know. Like, tell them something. I'll be well in a
Tell him
moment.
something.
What?
Nothing. You're all right.
Oh, what?
Go about
Nothing.
your business. It's fine.
Oh, none of my business. What I'm about to do, none of your business.
Yeah. So he got Laurie and Annie on the phone. Annie's trying to set up Laurie on a date. She's not really into it. But I had some more information about the house. Where are we at? By the way, if you're there, let us know who's there, because I cannot see. It doesn't show me who is here. It just says that I've got a couple of people in. So you want to say hello? Say hello. Or don't. It's fine. Right. Oh, my video is just frozen up.
God, that's a good time to come back in. Right. So, and not for like weird reasons. I'm just
Oh
saying
no, I'm sure.
No, I literally. The point I was going to make is that it's interesting to note that like he seems to like forego any like indication of like he doesn't give a fuck about what you're showing, what you've got to offer.
Oh no.
Like most of your other killers, mostly Freddy, but or Ghostface maybe would definitely be like copping a feel. Do you know what I mean? But that's just not on his mind at all. Anytime that he sees you, in those kind of more exposed moments, he just doesn't register. And it makes you wonder, is that like the evil? If he's like the supernatural evil being, is it just like that is just taken over? So there's just no need for any of that stuff? Because
I just seem
like
sorry. I
the
mean, he just killed a
e-
dog.
yeah,
You
but
know,
even a
he's
radiator needs draining from time to time. Do you know what I mean? It's a natural thing. Like the evil can't fully overcome like the human biology. Like he must need to eat. I was thinking about this as well. Like he must need to eat and like do his business. Like I just want one scene in one of these movies where it's just full on John Carpenter theme music playing and he's just fucking squatting behind a fucking shrub just taking a dump. You know. And then somebody catches him like and then he fucking just disappears behind a bed sheet or whatever on
yeah.
but he must have to take a dump or a whiz, you know, or get dehydrated. Like how far does the supernatural element kind of
Hmm.
go is what I'm saying.
We just saw they're watching the thing from another world, the old Howard Hawks film, which he famously ended up remaking a few years after this.
There you go.
Old
I
John
haven't seen
Carpenter.
that, either the original or the remake.
Really?
I don't think so.
Hey, check it out. That is probably one of the best remakes I
I
can
don't
think
know.
of.
Is it? I
Next to The
I mean,
Fly,
obviously,
like,
I was going to say, obviously, I haven't seen it, but my first suggestion would be like The Fly is probably in the conversation for
well,
the best remake ever made.
well, oddly enough, I mean, I'd say 3 of my favorite horror remakes are all films that were made like in the 50s originally, and then remade in the 80s. The Blob, The Thing,
I
and
love
The
the Blob
Fly.
with Steve McQueen in there. Is it Steve McQueen in one of those in the original? The Blob, not Steve McQueen. Who
Yes.
am I thinking of? But
No,
it's some fucking young, handsome 50s actor that was famous. And yeah, I like the Blob. Let's just leave
it
it
is
at that. I
Steve
like the
McQueen,
Blob.
yeah.
It is Steve McQueen. There we
Yeah,
go. Let's
and the
let's rock
OG.
on. You get some fucking bona fide knowledge. It's not just witty bants over here. If you're tuning in, which don't want to burst the bubble, but a couple of you are, so that's fun. Um, we are at we're at 47 minutes and 30 seconds into Halloween. How long is this movie as well? So we're just over the
Fair enough.
halfway mark.
31.
Um, so we are pretty much halfway through. So things are going to start kicking off pretty soon. So if you got any fucking funny one-liners you want to get out your system now, George, before we get serious, then fucking get it off your chest.
Get serious? No. Just no.
But yeah, but no, I would put The Fly up there with I was trying to think of like the best remakes, and the two that come to my mind is The Fly and the Departed by Martin Scorsese,
I've
and they're
never seen The
completely different
Departed.
movies.
Mm.
But that's a remake of an old Korean movie called Infernal Affairs, and
Okay.
The Departed won like I think it won Oscars. It had like really crazy good performances with a stacked, cast of like Nicholson, Damon, DiCaprio, like fucking everyone was in that movie.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, The Fly. Oh, here comes the kid from fucking The Grinch. She called. She wants her fucking outfit back. Taylor
The
Momsen.
Hoovian.
Yeah. I've never seen that movie, the Jim Carrey one.
Have you not?
No, I
I
mean,
remember watching it with nephews.
yeah, because I felt like I was a bit too old for it when it came out, and you're older than me. Not to, fucking overshare all your details,
It's fine.
but obviously you had like younger siblings and cousins and stuff. So yeah, I can imagine that you probably saw it with a bunch of other people. Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
one completely fucking missed me. And I was the biggest Jim Carrey guy, in the 90s. I watched The Mask and Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura like all day, every day. That was my shit.
Yeah.
But by
Same.
the time it got to The Grinch, whatever year that was probably more like late 90s, early 2000s. And by
It's
that point,
definitely
I
like
was,
2000. I want to say like
yeah.
2002. Maybe
And
a
I
bit
was,
later than that.
yeah, at that
2005,
point,
maybe?
like, by that point, somebody's shown me like I've seen like Men in Black, and then somebody showed me The Matrix, and I kind of started really getting heavy on into like the sci-fi side of stuff more than like the comedies and the more light-hearted affairs. Not to say well, Grinch is kind of light-hearted, but anyway, I was too mature, but
Uh,
I
I,
wasn't.
it was actually 2000 when it came
It
out.
was 2000. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm like at that point I've been playing Metal Gear Solid, I've been watching The Matrix, like I'm starting to develop testosterone, I think at this point is probably what's happening. And I'm kind of, not to say that you need testosterone to like The Matrix or Metal Gear Solid. I did just get the Metal Gear Solid collection. So good stuff, everyone. We're having a good time. We are not as good as what we thought we was when we used to play this game. It's not fun, you know. And you want to talk about stealth? Here's a guy who's fucking doing stealth. Like how? Like you're standing in front of green trees wearing blue and white. How are you getting away with this?
It's just that damn good.
Like, just fucking have a green jumpsuit and maybe like a black mask. Like, probably not a black mask, actually. Don't do that. Mine's like, you're already a murderer. You don't want to be insensitive. But get like a fucking get like a get some natural colours in there. Some suburban camouflage going
I was
on.
gonna say, what do you want him in fucking camos and fucking grease
I
war
want him
paint?
full on Dad's Army, crawling along with a little twig sticking out of his hat.
Man,
And then, like, when you look around for a second out the corner of your eye out the window and you just see him commando rolling across the fucking lawn. Like, you know.
yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone I was gonna say about the mask, but I think we all know it was the Bill Shatner mask.
Yeah, so
There's
I would
a video on
assume that
YouTube.
he still collects royalty. He must get something for that, right?
I'm not entirely sure, but I know that
Like, how
those
how would that
masks.
work? Because maybe it's dependent on, would it be a case of he has to get paid rights from the mask company? But then back in the 60s and 70s, would you really have had that kind of in-depth licensing agreement as an actor? I don't think you would have done. So
Probably not.
maybe, so if it might come down to a case of, because William Shatner didn't think to ask for like a royalty off of like a cheap fucking throwaway Halloween mask,
Mm,
because he doesn't know that 10 years later they're going to use it in a movie. And
mm.
then maybe because of that, the movie then doesn't have to go to him. They're just like, well, we're just gonna get this mask off of this company, and maybe we pay them something. But and if they want to share with him, then yeah. But they probably didn't, because they probably got nothing for this, because it was a low budget thing, and nobody probably thought that was going to be anything.
Well,
I don't
the
know.
the mask was also altered by Tommy Lee Wallace, who was an editor on the film, and he went on to be the director of Part Three.
Oh, cool,
Um,
cool, cool.
and there's a video you can find on YouTube where he shows you exactly what he did with the mask. He basically just cut some of the eyes out, he spray painted it white, redid some of the hair. But you see, again, this is like yeah,
This actress has had enough of this scene already. She's like, look, just don't. It doesn't need to be this long. Like, I'm dead. Like, just let me go home and have an early shift. You know what I mean?
yeah,
She was really good for the first like 20 seconds, but after a while you can see, look, she's checked out, mate, and not in the dead kind of way. But but yeah, as for the mask, like,
I know. Uh,
I don't know. It's
yeah,
just
well, it's funny how such a simple mask, simple design, like
yeah.
it did vary throughout the films. Like there was one, I think it was part four. It just looks fucking ridiculous. Um,
Is it that much? No, is it noticeably
it
different from
it
part
is
one to part
noticeably.
four?
I don't know how to describe it. It just looks goofy in part four, and part five it doesn't
Almost
look
like they've
great either.
tried too hard to like replicate it, and they've just kind of just yeah gone over
It's
the
just the
edge.
shape of it was wrong, and
Yeah,
it looked like wider. It made him look like he had a
yeah. Sometimes
bit of
that's
chub
the way
going.
though, man. Like, you can go like to just a fucking, like a random fucking secondhand shop, or some, cheap pound costume shop, and just buy a William Shatner mask and spray it white, and it works. But the second you go to like a special effects makeup company or whatever, and you're like, we're gonna spend like 250K to like replicate it, somehow it just looks worse.
Mm,
Like, there's just something to be said for like that kind of that thrift store, that found, you know, that just sort of like found in realityness kind of thing to it, where even on the screen you can kind of just you get a sense of it,
yeah.
just
Um,
lived in.
yeah. No, there's a guy called Sean Clark who's like he does these videos, horror's hallowed grounds, where he goes around filming locations and stuff like that. He's like a massive collector as well, and he owns like several of the Myers masks, including some of the original you know William Shatner ones that he had people modify or whatnot. But
How did it? Here's a good question for you. How did it go down in the Halloween fan community with the remake where they're like, oh, he's got like 25, 30 different ones? Was that like a weird take, do you think, where he's just like, oh, he just likes collecting masks, and then that one just happened to be the one that he just kind of came full circle on, you know?
I'm not too sure, to be fair. Like, I mean, it says they like the dad there, the police officer, when they bump into him
Yeah,
after having a little smoko, he's talking about him. Someone broke into the store where obviously he got the original mask.
yeah,
So it's like, I don't know. It's like in reality, obviously, in the film, it's not going to be like a Bill Shatner mask. So he bought it that way from, or stole it that
yeah.
how
And
it
I just,
was store bought.
yeah, I just
But
thought it was interesting how they decided to go for, because in this, it's just like there's just the one mask. He just grabs that mask, and that's the mask that it is. But in
mm,
the remake, they introduced the whole thing of, oh, well, he likes collecting masks and he makes masks and he's got this whole different collection. It's
yeah, of
kind of
course.
like that.
Sorry,
Just
yeah,
seems that
yeah,
seems to me like the kind of thing that fans of a character would get like annoyed about. Do you know what I mean? Like if
yeah,
Superman went to the Fortress of Solitude in a Superman movie, and then all of a sudden he's got like a wardrobe, and there's like a, he's got a blue cape and a green cape and a purple cape. Like everyone would be like, what the fuck?
yeah,
It's a red cape. Just fucking leave it. It's a red cape. It's fine. You don't. That's unnecessary.
yeah. Don't mess with the
I don't know. It
formula.
just seemed like a
Yeah, I
weird.
forgot about that. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just
in
seemed like a
Zombies one,
weird
he
extra thing to throw in there that I would imagine would have rustled a few feathers online in the early 2000s when that movie, or 2007 when it came out.
yeah. No, they got some cans bud there. Um, cleverly hiding, or is it?
Oh,
I'm
she's very
assuming it wasn't
consciously hiding.
pro-
There's no
product
cleverness
placement.
about that. She's clearly been fucking berated by the director like 4 times because she's ruined the tape. He's like,
Don't let
cover the
anyone see
cover
blood.
the logo. We haven't got the sponsorship deal. We're still waiting for the YouTube verification live stream license to come through. We don't have it yet. Fuck.
Imagine they asked, like, or they like contacted Budweiser, and then
Look,
they're like,
look at the way she's
"No,"
walking around with it.
they're like, "No, you can't show our cans. Show our cans. You can't show those cans."
You can show your cans, but you can't show our cans.
Yeah,
Um,
but
it's weird how that works. Like how you've got to, like, in some circumstances you have to pay a brand to promote their
yeah,
brand. It's like, well, you should be fucking grateful. This is good for you and it's
mm,
good for us. Just let it happen. I never understood that.
no,
Like, why
I
have I
don't know.
got to get your permission to promote your brand? Now, I get that, to be fair, you could make like, you could make like a Nazi propaganda film and then just be like Coca-Cola or whatever. So I get that, like, you've got to protect yourself against, but nobody's doing that.
Yeah,
Nobody's doing that. Like, shut up.
yeah,
You know,
uh,
we're
yeah.
taking
So
sponsorship deals all night, every night, by the way. You want us to talk about your new Nazi propaganda film. We will not do that. But if you've got like a family friendly soft drink, then we're all ears.
yeah,
Absolutely.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Let's go. We'll
We'll
go ahead, bars. Healthy, good for you. Part of a nutritious breakfast, if you eat like 4 other healthy things as well. I don't know. Hit us up. Anyway, we've slowed right down again. This movie was like, it was building, it builds up and then it slows right back down and it builds up a little bit more.
We've got a cameo appearance
we've
here.
Got a catio here.
Catio.
We've absolutely got a catio. He's absolutely not just letting one rip right in his ear right now. Like, where's your tension now? Like, you thought you were having a good time, and I'm about to introduce you to some real world fucking senses that are gonna fuck you up.
Oh man, it's funny you say that. I won't go off topic, but yeah, maybe I'll mention it later. I had some.
Oh dear, is that
some funny little anecdotes about flatulence on my travels. Not from me.
Oh, that sounds like a good time, everybody.
Yeah,
maybe one day we'll have like another
all those bud
way
cans.
where we'll talk about some of that behind the scenes flatulence. Here we go. Here's a guy who doesn't want some flatulence right now.
Oh no, that would definitely ruin the moment.
You know what? That pumpkin looking at me would ruin the moment. And I love a spooky time, don't get me wrong. And, I love being like a big titty goth chick and all that. But I think a pumpkin on the bedside table, just too on the nose for me. I think, like, what are we doing?
It is an odd placement. I've never seen anyone put, mate, no, I can't be having.
Exactly. Who does that?
Down you go.
You're just asking for fucking Halloween-themed serial killers at this point. You put fucking jack-o'-lanterns on the bedside table. Here we go. Look, and now this poor fucker's having flashbacks. Because what is Michael Myers at the end of the day, if not a victim of a circumstance? And probably some really unholy genetics.
Oh, there it goes. Ron's messed my backdrop up.
He's messed up the backdrop. Everything's come tumbling down. You're fucking. Your throw over there is getting more wrecked than these two's bed sheets. Like,
and the classic.
Look at those glasses. You can't keep those glasses on during.
Oh no, he clearly put them back on.
Mate. One pump and they fall off and they're gonna fucking knock her out for 6. I tell you, like
some big old frames
come down, sliding down the fucking sweat on your brow and your nose. They're gonna build up some velocity. Those things will hit a woman in the face. Tell you now, it's a thing.
Is that cigarette even lit? No, barely.
Might be one of those fake novelty ones you used
might
to get.
Have to eject this little this cat.
Does it look like he's coming back in for another fucking round?
No, he's just now like hovering his head, like leaning on the edge of the laptop and trying to chew on it. Go away, come on, boy. I know you want some attention. Been away for a bit, but gonna have to wait.
You know what I've always wanted to see, George? I've always wanted to see a slasher movie in a real fucking house. And I don't mean a house where you can run around the kitchen counter and there's like a door there that goes, and then you can go all the way around the other side of the kitchen, and then there's a door that links from the fucking kitchen through the dining room into the living room. I want a fucking slasher movie in a real house where there's like one door in, one door out, like there's like 3 rooms. And like,
well, you don't know that there's only just those, French doors or patio doors.
Oh, it's always this middle class bullshit, and I get it because they need to have some, room to maneuver around. But I just feel like it doesn't need to be like the movie Buried, but I think there's a happy medium somewhere between like a Home Alone and a Buried, where it's just like a slasher movie set in a 3-bedroom fucking council flat. You know what I mean? And it's like there's only one way in of this place and one way out of this place, and you know
I'm
that's
sorry to
what you're dealing
interrupt,
with.
but I just love this scene.
Here we go. But because he takes the effort to put extra stuff on,
Yeah,
because that
and the
again goes
glasses.
against the whole idea that he's just this mindless supernatural killing machine, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
he's obviously, because if he was, he wouldn't care. He would just walk in and just murder you straight away. But he wouldn't bother to like hang out and like build up suspense, you know?
No, and you gotta
So
wonder as well: is he silently chuckling to himself?
is the whole, I've often thought this, is the whole thing a bit, he just one day was just like, okay, I murdered these people, I don't really know what to say, I'm just not going to say anything. And then it just
Well,
carried on day after day, and it just escalates, and he's just like, well, this is pretty fun, like I don't have to explain myself, I just live, you know, I just do what I do, I get my 3 meals, you know, I just walk here to here. You know, I don't need to worry about anything if I just keep my mouth shut, basically. It just keeps it so smooth and uncomplicated. And also, it's just like funny because they all just think, like, oh, is he this mindless, soulless demon from hell? He's like, no, I just don't feel like fucking talking to you, to be honest with you, mate. I just want to murder. I don't want to talk. Why would I? I'm not a talker. I'm a murderer. Come on. It's in the fucking name.
well, that's I think sort of back on the mask thing, like it's elaborated a little bit more, or
Yeah.
you know, Rob Zombie tried to elaborate, like saying like when he had the mask on, he felt like he couldn't be seen or detected. But in this case, I don't
Well,
know.
he
Like
knows
that.
he can
That's
be. It's all built upon the fact that she's standing there, like looking at him in this ridiculous sheet with the glasses on it. Like the whole bit is built around her being able to see him.
yeah.
So he's obviously got like, you know, there is still a personality in there because otherwise
Mm.
you would just walk in the room, there would be no hesitation. You just walk one room, stab, next room, stab, next room, stab, and obviously that would get old for
Yeah.
a while after a while. So obviously we need to keep it interesting. But then when you take that and you apply it to like the character, it's like that kind of says a whole lot. It kind of just adds this whole other level that should be funny, but also it's not. 'Cause it's like, is that scarier? Is it scarier if he's not a
I find
supernatural hellspawn and he's literally just like a person can just decide to just be like that if they want to? Because apparently people can. You know, it's not unheard of for people to like just go dumb for, you know, extended periods of time when they're on like, you know, in these kind of crazy murder cases and stuff. It does happen.
of course. I would argue is in a way it is like
Yeah.
potentially like more frightening that you know the less supernatural, you know, route.
Yeah, because like
But
if the human mind can like just do something, that just kind of makes it more like horrifying
yeah, it's
than just like, oh well, it wasn't me, it was a demon, I'm possessed, I was born that way. Like, no, you just chose to be a prick. And anyone at any moment can just choose to be a prick.
yeah.
It's fun.
But yeah, we
It's a
talked
fun
past
world
that
with him.
scene as well, and he nails your fella to the door, and then he looks at him, does the
Mm,
head tilt, the
yeah.
intrigued, like yeah, that
And we
again.
haven't had
There's
as much
just
Loomis lately as we did like little while ago. We
oh no, he's about to start getting
Now
busy
he's
though.
back in. He's snooping around. He's running around doing his detective. He's even got like the fucking like Dick Tracy coat on. Like he
Yeah,
fucking he's clearly he did he failed the police exam, but he like did really well on like the psychology test. So he's just like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm just gonna just fall back on like the trade or whatever." And then he's like 20 years later, he's just harboring these delusions of like he still wants to be a detective, and he's just waiting, he's praying for this fucking night to happen so he can get in on the action. He was hoping that
I don't
fucking
know
this
about
lunatic would get
that.
out.
Brilliant. Things are falling apart. Thanks,
mate,
Ron.
yeah.
Don't go cats, people.
Fucking, you got like a fucking gong on your lap or something, and it's fucking.
Yeah, again, like a lot of people, speak of like how frightening it is the fact that we're in suburbia and no one hears. Like, we had a girl strangled in the car. She hit the horn, honked that horn a couple of times there.
But those roads are so wide, man. Those houses are so far apart. Like, on a council estate, everyone would be sticking their head out the fucking window.
No,
Like, everyone would know, like, there's something going on.
Instantly, there would be verbal abuse for honking that horn.
You fucking keep it down, love. I don't give a shit, mate. Get murdered somewhere else, yeah, alright? We got fucking family fortunes on over here. Like, fucking learn to prioritise, mate.
Trying to watch the fucking thing. Will you shut the fuck up?
You fucking mind, it's the semi-final of Britain's Got Talent.
You couldn't have thought of anything more.
I don't know.
It's still on.
I don't watch terrestrial TV anymore. I don't know.
I was thinking something more based around this sort of time period.
Britain's Got Talent's pretty fucking scary.
No, I'm not talking about Halloween. I meant the 70s.
Oh, all right, it's in the 70s.
Yeah,
What are they watching? What are they watching in the 70s?
I mean, they were watching The Thing from Another World.
Well, they were,
we already
but
saw
not
that.
everyone.
No, they might be. There weren't many channels back then.
You know, what is it, like Family Feud or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, what's an old game show? How long has Jeopardy been going?
Oh, that's got to have been.
Were they watching Jeopardy? Because they are in.
I'm sorry.
They are in Jeopardy, so it makes sense if they was watching Jeopardy.
Yeah. Great babysitting. Just leave the two kids there.
Yeah, but it's quiet before the storm, though, isn't it?
It is.
They're like, look, listen, Jamie. I'm not going to lie to you, love. The next 20 pages of the script is going to be you, like, tearing up your vocal cords, screaming like a fucking lunatic. So we're going to give you a nice 5 minutes of just walking around in the dark just to get you ready, all right? You're like, yeah, all right, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
That's always, that's a trademark of the slasher formula that was set here with the suspense when it's like, that the audience knows is there. The threat is.
I tell you what, if I'm in this, I'm like, can we shoot this stuff afterwards? Can I do all the screaming first and then I can just fucking creep around up and down the stairs? You've got to assume that would be the logical way to do it, right?
I'm not sure. I mean, like, what if you blow your voice out and you have to, like, delay the shoot?
Fair enough. So maybe save it all to the end, yeah. I mean, this kind of movie is probably closer to a chronological shoot, if I was guessing. But maybe not. I like to be surprised by that kind of stuff. I always think that's fun. If somebody can handle, I think like continuity and timeline stuff is like must be some of the worst shit. You know, like in 1940s noir movies and the cigarettes, and got to keep that consistent. And obviously a lot of them didn't, but I always give massive fucking props for those kind of
I'm just letting the cat attention out because he's wanting to get out of there. Back in a sec. Oh, there you go. There's a reveal. That's where that tombstone went.
He's fucking had it, mate. He's had it on the
homeboy in the Canadian tux was looking for it. They found it for him.
See, look, he's set.
Ah!
This is basically Home Alone at this point, apart from a murderer who's broken into your home and set up traps for you with the dead bodies of the people that you know and love. So that's
all your
fun.
homies.
All your
Home Alone.
homies. Home Alonees.
Oh man, it's a bad time for me to get out, but I'll be back.
No, go for it. Me
30
and Laurie will
seconds.
carry
I'm not
on.
leaving the room. I'm just moving.
Oh, mate, look. The one time he fucking even misses with the knife and it's the main character. What are the chances, dude? What are the chances? And she got stabbed in the shoulder, so now she's limping. So that's fun. That's a nice little bit of biology going on there. Can't wait to hear what's going on with this fuck. Oh, he's just him in his fucking backdrop throw over sheet thing. There you go. You missed it, George. So she gets slashed in the shoulder, and then she starts limping. Like, what the fuck's that about? I mean, to be fair, sometimes as you get older, weird shit like that happens.
Oh yeah.
Like you fucking trip up a curb, and all of a sudden, like you've like sprained your wrist. Like it does happen that way sometimes. But she's fucking 17. Come on, you got to be a bit more spry than that. You're still going to fucking gym class. You're limbo. You got no excuses, mate.
Mm. That bit still
Listen,
does get
I
me
mean,
though, like just like where she's like breaking through the glass to get out the door.
oh yeah,
Yeah, there they are. They're like, fuck off. Too
it's
late.
intense
We
and
ain't got no more
it's
candy.
frustrating as fuck. Yeah, because again, it's that thing
Yeah.
of like adults ignoring other adults. It's like these are all people like, well, she's basically, I mean, 17, whatever, but like, this isn't just like some fucking annoying 7-year-old crying wolf in the night or whatever. Like this is like a fully grown person is like smashing on your door in the middle of the night. Like e- even if you think that like it's some sort of fucking scam or whatever, you're still not just going to ignore that. You're going to be like, we need to figure out what's going on there.
Yeah. Like phone the
You would
police.
assume so. Like, come on.
Yeah, this again, you're just like, even though you know what's gonna happen. Still just like, hurry up, Tommy.
She does this in the Rob Zombie one as well, where it's like, I'm being chased by a murderous killer. I'm going to lead him to the house where the kids are. And
Yeah.
that, I mean, obviously she's panicking, but also a little bit insensitive.
Mm.
Like, come on, like, you're the adult in the situation. You got responsibility. Lead him away from the children. Come on, do something for the town. Jesus. Like, you might as well just fucking grab the kid and throw him as bait. Like,
Oh, and a knitting needle in the neck.
knitting needle in the neck.
And he's down.
And again, like, he can just, like, shrug that off. Because obviously, like, he's still got a human body. Like, you get an artery, the blood's not going where it needs to be going. But apparently, he's just so evil, he can just concentrate his evil and just stop the blood or just keep going, just the adrenaline. I don't know.
Yeah, he's
I mean, it's probably, they
cauterized
don't
everyone.
have to explain that stuff. It's fine. But it is fun to think about, like, what is the biology of that situation? Is it like a mind over matter kind of, you know?
Yeah.
kind of situation. Like, what is
Does
he
he
doing
feel
there?
adrenaline? Yeah, does he?
Does he even have adrenaline? Does he even have blood? Like, where is
Well,
the?
yeah, I think you just saw blood on the needle.
Well, yeah,
There.
he bleeds, but like, does it work? Does his body clearly it can't work in the same way for him to be able to operate the way that he's operating?
No.
Because that's it right there. Knitting leader in the neck, mate. Credits, theme song for me. That's it. Like, if I'm the killer, like she just goes do 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 do, and that's the end of the film because like, I've just died.
Pretty
But
anticlimactic. Yeah.
I would love that though.
Have
I
we
would love it
passed the
if
scene?
a slasher movie did that. It gets to around like the 80-minute mark, and they get like where she stabs him in the fucking eye with a fucking a knife or whatever, and it's like, well, yeah, that would go into his brain. That's the end of the movie. He's dead. I just no explanation.
Was it the bogeyman? It sure was. How
That's the other
how did
thing.
those kids not see him? Coming up the
In the
stairs.
remake, not only does she lead him back to the fucking house with the kids at and terrify them, she slams the door behind her and she goes, "The boogeyman is real!" And it's like, fuck, man, you just tell the kids to go and hide. You don't need to say that. That's a bit much. Because now they're not going to sleep not only for tonight, but the next 20 years.
The rest of their life.
You've just fucked them up. Like, he's been paranoid this whole time about the boogeyman, and you've just gone and fucking reawakened his worst nightmares and brought a real one along with you. Anyway,
That's right.
here's a classic thing. How many films do we see this in? Somebody hiding in those whatever style wardrobe you call it, with the
It's like a laundry walk-in
closet
wardrobe.
with the grated paneling or whatever it is. Like, because I've never seen a wardrobe, I don't think, with that in my life. I've only ever seen it in movies where somebody's hiding in one.
It's the peeping Tom, closet,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's just like designed to. Oh, he hit the light.
It's weird, isn't
Conveniently.
it, how probably a closet designed by a man for a woman also happened to have holes in it.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
How did that happen?
What is he worried about? What do the fucking blouses need sunlight in through the fucking hole?
Well,
Like, no.
now that you mention it, there is one practical. Well, just thinking, possible ventilation prevent damp.
Mate,
Possibly.
okay. I feel you. That's good. That's pretty good.
I'm not sure though. It
That
might
might
just give it.
you might have fucking smashed the nail right on the head there.
I watched Blue Velvet not too long ago, and there's a scene where he's.
Oh yeah, there's damp going on in that movie. All right, that's for sure. Don't worry about that. They should call it fucking damp velvet. Cause
yeah, there's one of those scenes where he's peeping through one of those closets and he gets discovered.
And you don't want him getting mildew on his blazer, do you?
No.
He's got to have some ventilation in there. Old Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah. McGlock.
Good movie though, good movie.
Brilliant.
I mean, it also kind of like terrifying.
Disturbing. Yeah.
Yeah, different kind of horror, but still just as valid.
Yeah.
Imagine like Mike Myers stabs you in your neck, but Blue Velvet stabs you in like your nerves. You know what I mean? In your eyes.
That ear off.
Bad times.
And yeah.
But there's the cut on her shoulder that made her limp.
Go.
Like, what the fuck's that all about?
The classics. Sit up, re-emerge from his little nap he was having. I'm pretty sure that house there is the Nightmare on Elm Street house as well. I might be wrong.
Man, that wouldn't surprise me. You know what? I see a lot of houses where I'm like, that kind of looks like the Nightmare on Elm Street house.
Yeah, it's been in a
But
few films that.
yeah, maybe Wes Craven just did a really good job of like capturing like sort of like the quintessential suburban house front, you know. Which again, he would have got, you know, inspiration from this, is a lot.
Yeah. Oh, and that's where
Loomis is ready.
you see his face for.
Could not buy it in the zombie version that he had all that hair on in that mask. Like,
yeah,
just does not compute for me.
Would be lumping out there, wouldn't it, at the back?
Oh,
Oof.
absolutely. It'd be pulling tight on his bridge of his nose. It'd be really uncomfortable. And of course, in that version, we get a whole scene of like fucking Loomis, played by Malcolm McDowell, which is a fucking conversation for another day. I tell you that much.
Oh
Fucking
man,
hell.
that shit cracks me up. Michael.
It's the work. What is it? You know how I was talking about the other day where like some actors were just right place, right time, and they just kind of circumstance their way into being just like legends.
I know
Malcolm
where you're going
McDowell.
with this. I don't know. I don't agree with that. Totally.
I mean, he's done some good
Halloween.
stuff.
You haven't seen the second one yet. He does have a change. He's a fucking treat in Rob Zombie the H2.
Now, he's very much like an old school theatre actor. It's hammy as fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
but Clockwork
I'm not
Orange.
saying that it's not enjoyable, but it's not. You wouldn't put it in like the traditional category of good. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a lot to be said about Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah.
Malcolm McDowell.
But yeah, no, I
but
love
yeah,
Malcolm McDowell. Don't get me wrong.
It's a particularly bad performance.
I love Malcolm McDowell. Do not get me wrong. You know, Clockwork Orange, obviously he's good. Love me a bit of Star Trek Generations or whatever, where he's fucking got a missile that's gonna blow up the universe or whatever. Like, what?
Hang on. Yeah, I just realised this is not. That's it. We're done.
Is it. That's where we go, mate. He off the balcony or like shot down into the fucking lawn, and that's it. Fucking imagine if they did this now and you didn't know there was another movie coming. You're like, I want my money back. Like, what the fuck are you doing? In a fucking Christ of Living situation, and you fucking charge me $12.99 for half a movie, you fuck. Like, no, this will not stand. This aggression will not stand, man. But yeah, that's Halloween, everyone.
That is
Halloween, 2 of you. 4 of us. That's Halloween for the 4 of us. We're having a horrible Halloween. Did you see Talk to Me got added to Netflix like 3 days ago?
Yeah.
So that like one of the quickest adds to my list, for a while there. That is absolutely.
Should we just rewatch that?
Mate, I was tempted to like message you when I saw it on there like 2 days ago. I was always tempted to be like, maybe, but then yeah, I feel like it's better if we both seen them. I don't want to watch something for the first time like this.
Oh shit!
What I mean?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize you hadn't.
Yeah, because
it
was one of the first movies we covered where like I couldn't see it and you could, and yeah.
Right, so it is. Let's put it to our 2 viewers.
If they're in there, if they want to comment, because they might just be having this playing on in the background.
You want to actually watch.
The plan is the revised plan is that we're gonna do Halloween, then we're gonna do Evil Dead Rise, because You know, we don't want to outstay our welcome with like it took us an hour later to get here than intended. We were going to do the 3. So should we just stick the course and rise with the Evil Dead?
Yeah,
We're probably not going to see a comment, but that's fine. If the comment can rise, that would be cool. But
just like the Evil Dead.
No worries.
I'm going to queue it up anyway.
Listening, yeah, they might hear it and be like, oh shit, go on there. Or if you don't comment, we're gonna watch we're gonna go watch Twilight Breaking Dawn part 2, not even part 1 first. We'll just watch Breaking Dawn.
I mean, that's where it really picks up, right?
I mean, obviously that's where it gets good. I've not seen any of those actually. I was actually thinking yesterday. I've seen the first Hunger Games, and I never saw the rest of them, and I didn't really love it. But it's like maybe I should watch those. You know, just do my due diligence and finish out a franchise. I've only seen like 3 out of the 10 Fast and Furious movies. I'm like, do I need to? Why do I feel like ethically, obligated that I need to like finish those out? And if I don't, then it's like there's something broken inside me as a person. Like I should just be fine. Just be like, you know what? I watched a couple of those and I didn't like them, and that's fine. But no, just that egotistical completionist, those urges. Just you can't beat them out of you with a fucking stick if you tried.
I don't know. Yeah, there's some films where I am, I feel like I have to watch them all, and then others are just like, yeah, you get knocked off the stank, or you're just like, nah, that's enough for me.
Yeah, it's different factors in it. Sometimes maybe you just don't get to see it at the right time, and then maybe like the hype or whatever, like it just kind of fades away, and just like, oh, it just doesn't matter now. It's not going to live up to it. And sometimes the excitement is better than the chase is better than the catch, as Motorhead might say. So,
shall I put this?
A lot. I was going to say, have you got like a little thing?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'll put that John Carpenter interview snippet. I'm going to run and get another beverage quick, and
yeah. How long's the so we got a little clippy clip thing for you. I don't want to undermine it because George put a lot of effort into this stuff, and we've had to maneuver and adapt, and which he was, by the way, editing like 2 seconds before we come on. So if that doesn't deserve a like and a share, then frankly that's just disrespectful. But how long is this little intermission break we got here?
Oh, it's only a few minutes. I got that and a couple of little clips. We got about 4 minutes.
Have a little look at this. Some little messages from John Carpenter, maybe some fun little bits and bobs.
Little bit of insight. Yeah.
Because if you're not getting insight from this, then what the fuck are we doing? To be honest. And that'll be it for most of the Poproast podcast.
My job in making Halloween was to do an exploitation horror film. Then the basic premise was given to me by my distributor, Irwin Yablans. He said, let's do a movie about these babysitters who get stalked by a killer. He figured that everybody could identify with babysitting. So many teenagers had done it. And then a little bit later, he came up with the idea of calling it Halloween. Let's set it on Halloween night and call it Halloween. Never been used as a title before. Never been used at all. It was an underutilized holiday, so great. And I was a young director then, and I was hungry for experience, hungry for features. I had done some work before then. I said, sure, why not? Well, when we were making the film, I thought, gee, it's Halloween at night, and people get dressed up in masks. What better way to have a killer not be identified than be wearing a mask? And we didn't have any money to make a mask, so So my production designer, Tommy Lee Wallace, went up to a magic shop right here on Hollywood Boulevard and bought a William Shatner Star Trek mask, Captain Kirk mask. Spray painted it, cut the eye holes a little bit different, fixed the hair, and there we go. As I remember it now, maybe it was more, but I had about 3 or 4 days to do the score to Halloween. Basically record the whole thing. I wanted something deadly simple and something that would just eat at you a little bit. And my father bought me a pair of bongos when I was really young for Christmas. He taught me how to play 5/4 time on them. So all I did was to get on piano and do 5/4 with an octave. And that was where it came from. One scene that I'm particularly fond of where after Jamie makes her discovery in the house, she backs into a corner. It's a dark corner back there. And she's kind of terrified and hiding for a moment. And then gradually you become aware that he is standing right behind her. And he just slowly turned the light up and it just exposed that mask on film. And that was creepy. That may be my favorite scene. It was an odd experience on Halloween. It was released across the country in October and November of '78 to not very good reviews. Somehow it caught on and began to develop a word of mouth. And I was off directing a TV movie called Elvis, so by the time I'd finished that, I was invited to New York to speak at some deal, and they were screening Halloween, and I was standing outside waiting to go in, and it was just the screams over and over and over again. It was music to my ears.
Hello, caller, you on the air?
What's up?
I have come to give my gift. The gift of eternal night. Eternal Halloween. Eternal me.
Happy Halloween, fuckface. Now stand still.
Halloween? It's fucking June.
Yeah, says the guy dressed up as a fucking spider.
I'm here. Wake up. Wake up, lads. It's Freddy. Hey, in Italian, better chop pizza spaghetti.
Right, so Dean can't hear me. I can't hear him. So we're just gonna cut off. Cheers. Cheers, fuckers. Peace. Alright, Halloween.